Good evening, welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shom. On the program this evening, Narendra Modi holds 3 major election rallies in the northeast on his second campaign in the region just this month. As he tries to strike an emotional chord with voters in Arunachal, Assam and Tripura, we ask, the battle for the northeast, can Narendra Modi upstage the Congress party? Well, here's our top story. Narendra Modi, the BJP's prime ministerial candidate, today reached out to voters in the northeast on a whirlwind trip of 3 states. In well-attended rallies, Modi has tried to convince people that the BJP is a viable alternative to the Congress, which has dominated the region for decades. For the BJP, cracking the northeast and its 25 Lok Sabha seats will be essential in their quest to try to come to power at the centre. You gave them 60 years, Modi told people, give us 60 months to make the change people here truly seek.
हिंदुस्तान में पहले अरुणाचल जगता है, फिर पूरा हिंदुस्तान जगता है। सूरज की आखिरी किरण गुजरात को आशीर्वाद देकर के कह के जाती है कि मैं कल सुबह फिर अरुणाचल पहुंच जाऊंगा।
With these words, the BJP's prime ministerial candidate reached out to people at a sizable rally in Pasighat in Arunachal Pradesh. Modi's foray into the northeast is significant. Ahead of the Lok Sabha elections in just a few months, the BJP strongman wants to be identified as a leader with an appeal beyond the Hindi heartland. To ensure that he makes his mark here, Modi will have to make quick amends for the performance of his party in a region where the Congress is seen to be the only pan-India party. In fact, Rahul Gandhi is set to spend 2 days campaigning in Assam alone early next week. Out of 25 Lok Sabha seats in the northeast, the BJP has only 4, all in Assam. It has just 9 of 498 assembly seats spread across the northeast, with not a single seat in Manipur, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram or Sikkim. True to form, Modi banked on 2 emotive issues here in Arunachal Pradesh: national sovereignty in the face of China to the north, and the recent death of the student Neero Tanyam, who was beaten to death in a racist attack in Delhi.
यहाँ के शहीद वीर नीलम ताबे 1962 में चीन के दांत खट्टे करने का काम किया था। करगिल की लड़ाई में भी दुगु चिमियांग शहादत देकर के पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ अपनी ताकत का पर्चा दिखाया था।
Later, speaking in Silchar in Assam, Modi took on Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi directly, saying he was out of the country when the 2012 floods happened.
आपके मुख्यमंत्री को जब पता चलता है कि मोदी जी आने वाले हैं, तो उनकी नींद हराम हो जाती है। यहां सरकारें ऐसी आई है कि बांग्लादेशियों के कारण पूरा आसाम परेशान है, और मेरे कारण पूरा पाकिस्तान परेशान है।
This is Modi's second major trip to the northeast this month alone. Earlier, he had addressed huge rallies in Assam and Manipur. Today, he travelled to Arunachal Pradesh, Silchar in Assam and Agartala in Tripura, a clear indicator of the priority that the BJP is giving the northeast. In an election unlikely to throw up a clear winner, an improved show in the northeast will be invaluable for the BJP's prospects of coming to power. Vishnu Shom for NDTV. So what sort of an impact will Narendra Modi make in the northeast? 25 Lok Sabha seats up for grabs in just a few months from now. The BJP has traditionally not done well here at all. Just 4 Lok Sabha seats is what they managed last time around. Will they actually add to that tally? Joining us to debate this, Sheshadri Chari, member of the BJP's National Executive. Pradyop Dev Burman, the General Secretary of the Tripura Pradesh Congress, with us as well. Tripura was one of the places where Narendra Modi spoke today. I'm also joined by Sanjoy Hazarika, Director of the Centre for Northeast Studies at the Jamia Millia Institute. Thank you, sir, very much for being with us. And Neero Marina, the mother of Neero Tanya, the young northeastern Arunachal Pradesh student who was killed in Delhi in that act of violence which has shocked so many across the country. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Mr. Jani, let me come to you first. Now, just earlier on this month, Tarun Gogoi had said, when Narendra Modi had visited the Northeast, that look, Narendra Modi ends up coming to the Northeast for 3 hours, Rahul Gandhi will be coming for 30 hours. The point being that neither Mr. Modi or the BJP is inclined to actually give the Northeast the attention it seeks.
No, it's wrong to say that we are not giving attention, because if you remember, during the NDA regime, it was the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government which put in place the Northeast Council in the first place, gave it a minister's status. Arun Shauri was the minister looking after the Northeast.
Donor, I think. You're talking about donor. The Ministry for Northeast.
And then special efforts were done to bridge Northeast with the rest of the country. More fund allocation was done. Infrastructure development was done. It was, of course, a very strategic thinking on the part of the government of India that we should not develop the infrastructure in the Northeast, especially along the Chinese border. But later on it changed. But after the policy change also, nothing much could be done. But it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee's personal attention was drawn towards Northeast. So it is wrong to say that the BJP never looked at Northeast. But the fact is, we don't have enough local leaders, and we have never thought in terms of a very strategic involvement as far as politics is concerned in the Northeast. So that was our setback for a long time. But there are other number of peripheral organizations of the BJP, like we have a very strong base in what we call the Northeast Sampark Cell of the BJP, which has more than 3,000 members, working members, active members. This Northeast Sampark Cell, which is now headed by a full-time worker from Maharashtra, Mr. Sunil Devdar, is very strong in the Northeast. So I think now we have started looking at Northeast from a very different perspective.
Pradyut, do you believe that with this perspective that he mentions, they would have a stronger chance of winning seats this time around?
No, I doubt it, because simply waking up before elections and coming for 3 rallies in a day.
The point he's making is that they haven't woken up before the elections. It's been going on for a while, the engagement with the Northeast.
No, I think what he said, if I may be corrected, is that when Vajpayee ji was there was a lot of effort made at that moment. Then everything went on a lull. Now, with 2 months to go before the elections, having 3 rallies in 3 different states within a day, and then going back and expecting a miracle will not happen. I don't think BJP has enough organizational structure or the manpower or the bandwidth to even improve on the position from the last time.
No, I'll just only make one correction, of course. See, after 2004, probably we did not do enough concentration in the Northeast to the extent that we should have done. But you know what is more important is that Northeast has always been on our radar for a long time. Not only during Atal Bihari Vajpayee, BJP and probably a number of other peripheral organizations that are part of the BJP and Sangh Parivar now were all very active in Assam for a long time, during the All Assam Student Union movement also. So we have had our strengths and we have had our weaknesses also. We very frankly, we admit that we don't have enough number of local leaders.
Okay. So I just want to go across to Shonjo Hazarika. The perception of the BJP in the past has been, and certainly of Narendra Modi, has been of a Hindi heartland leader. The Congress party was seen to be a more pan-Indian party. Is there anything that Modi brings this time around, for example, his concern on national security, particularly in a state like Arunachal Pradesh, that is an emotive issue as well? Does that perhaps change voter perception? Could it possibly be a factor in these elections?
Well, I don't think Mr. Modi is very well known for making foreign policy announcements.
Today he made a couple of pretty important foreign policy statements. He spoke about China extensively.
I think he made his views on these issues known, but I think even if a person like him comes to power, the trappings of power push are different, you know, the compulsions are different. To make these emotive statements may not take you very far, because you need to negotiate, you will have to negotiate with the Chinese. But you can't negotiate with the Chinese by saying that this is what my view is.
No, but I think let's look at the substance of what he's actually said. If you look at the role of Indians in Arunachal Pradesh from the 62 ward onwards, they have been some of the most patriotic Indians. They have been completely determined to go by the national cause.
Narendra Modi today is the only state in the northeast which has Hindi as the state language.
And Narendra Modi was today trying to appeal to that. Why would that not necessarily be an emotive issue, an issue which people in Arunachal Pradesh will relate to?
No, they can relate to that. I am just talking about Mr. Modi's own position on this. They may be able to relate to it, but whether that will translate 3 months down the line into an actual vote for change from the present dispensation is something that, I believe in waiting and watching and seeing. I noticed that I don't think he said anything, please correct me if I am wrong, I don't think he said anything on the Dalai Lama, did he?
No, he didn't say anything on the Dalai, to the best of my knowledge.
He made this position about
he said not an inch of Indian territory can ever be ceded to of Indian territory can go to the Chinese. That India's position as far as
Vishnu, on this, I once had a discussion in Kunming with a Chinese foreign policy specialist who was at the university, advises the government there. He says it's going to take another generation for us to come to some sort of arrangement on the border, because our positions are clear and your positions are also very, very solid. So there's no meeting point.
The whole idea is, of course, as far as Hindi is concerned, there is one more input that I have. The Nagaland Chief Minister, Mr. Nifu Rio, is another person who has made Hindi a compulsory language in his state, and he is point blank. I mean, we had a talk with him once, and he said, yes, everybody in my state, I want them to learn Hindi. What is wrong in that? To a very large extent, he has done it. And I mean, the general feeling in the Northeast is, I mean, this may be changing in the South also to a very large extent. There is one political party, at least very recently set up from the South, which says that we have lost out on a number of developmental aspects because of our opposition to Hindi. So that Hindi is one aspect of it. But more importantly, as far as the Arunachal Pradesh and other areas are concerned, the idea is not to make a foreign policy statement in Arunachal Pradesh. Modi's statements on foreign policy or Modi's views on BJP's views on China need not necessarily be said only in Arunachal Pradesh. We are saying it everywhere else also. And we know that we have to deal with China in a very different manner, as a competitor, as a successor, as a...
I don't think we are a competitor, I'm sorry.
No, that's not wrong to say. I mean, that's a different subject.
No, I have a point actually here. This is absurd, I mean, now we are talking that Hindi is the only way we can become a part of India. I mean, there are different languages. Assamese is there, Bengali is there, Kokborok is there, Khasi is there, Garo is there. I don't think any language is inferior to any other language. To say that Hindi, because people of Arunachal speak Hindi, hence they are more patriotic, is an absurd.
No, he's talking about it as an identity, as a point of identity.
I fundamentally differ.
Issue,
because
like
a person
symbol,
from Bengal,
a symbolic act.
Mamta Banerjee, when she speaks Bengali, she doesn't become less patriotic. So to term Arunachal patriotic with the language is, I think, slightly insensitive to the different tribes within Arunachal. Second, I don't think the Northeast, when you talk about Northeast, just before 3 months before elections, announcing from the soil of Arunachal that we will not give an inch of land to China, well, in that case, what are you doing when you were in Delhi?
No, but I think the other point is that it's assumed that you won't give an inch anyway.
But
why do you have to state the obvious?
The entire McMahon line. We're not only talking. We're talking about the Siachen Glacier. It has happened. It is just that when you're in Arunachal, you make an emotive statement. You leave Arunachal, you go to Assam, you make an emotive statement about Bangladesh. You come to Tripura, you make an emotive statement about Hindu Bengalis from Bangladesh.
Emotive statements exactly what all leaders, whether it's the BJP or Rahul Gandhi in a few days,
that they're going to take. Congress's position different?
No, I thought Modi was supposed to be different, right?
No, but is the Congress's position different? What are you supposed to say in Arunachal Pradesh?
Congress's position
it's not the question of just Arunachal Pradesh. Modi is saying this in Gujarat, Modi is saying it in Maharashtra, Modi is saying
it. I think fundamentally what Modi said today,
as far as
there's a difference. What Modi said today, he said, sorry Sanjada,
no, go ahead.
What Modi said, see, Bangladesh is a friendly country. As of today, the regime in Bangladesh is a friendly country. And he equated that with Pakistan.
No, he said a lot of people
are scared of Pakistan.
Are worried about Bangladesh.
So when
people in Pakistan are worried about me.
You make such
himself as a
startling.
strong nationalist leader.
I don't think there's a nationalist. Your
A
foreign
strong
policy,
man in a sense. I mean,
you
this is how he
are
would be
affecting your
interpreted.
foreign policy vis-a-vis Bangladesh, which is presently a friendly regime towards India, and you have said that you are being
Was that foreign policy or projection of self?
I think it was projection of immaturity.
Political leaders project themselves in a certain way.
But what is wrong in saying that we have a friendly regime in Bangladesh, which is a fact, which is what the government of India is also saying.
The Bangladesh regime
what is
with
wrong?
Pakistan.
And I think
equated the Bangladesh regime with Pakistan. Bangladesh has just come out of a turmoil
election.
Obvious.
It
is a very immature statement to make in Northeast.
Obvious. The government of India is also worried about it. For your kind information, I look after the external affairs department of my party, and I have been dealing with both Pakistan on track to diplomacy.
I have also been dealing on Bangladesh.
I have also been dealing with Bangladesh.
We are first-hand sufferers.
So we
understand.
We know
but
how we are dealing with, how the government of India is dealing with China, how the government of India is dealing with Bangladesh, how the government of India is dealing with.
So future projected Prime Minister of India makes a statement in Delhi,
US planning
I can
to
understand.
quit Afghanistan in May,
why
June.
are we talking about Afghanistan? We are talking about
that
Southeast
kind
Asia.
of a situation, we have to be more worried
the
about
problem
the
with
West than the
BJP,
East.
it is eventually, it always goes back to Afghanistan, Kashmir, Pakistan. The problem is that they don't give enough importance to Northeast, and that's the reason they have only 4 seats, and that also only in Assam. When we talk about Northeast, Assam is not Northeast. There are 6, 7 different other states in Northeast.
In fact, it's unfortunate that we refer in debates and things like that as Northeast.
Exactly.
I mean, each state is so completely different. Be that as it may, let me just...
The problem is that what else will you call it? Assam and the 7 other states, or the 8 states of the region.
It's more than an issue of semantics. It's an issue of deep sensitivity, and I think that's an issue that needs to be.
Politics is all about symbolism. I mean, what he says there, or what you describe an area, it's a symbolic.